black, white, old, young, libertarians, conservatives, kind of mainline liberals that are waking up to the false paradigm, mainline conservatives. It's very, very exciting to see what's happening. Roosevelt Daily for years, breaking the Berlin Wall, disinformation, that you guys have been exposing it. Washington Times came out, DrudgeReport.com, London Guardian, now we have the Washington Post, Associated Press. Unfortunately, Beck is making jokes about it because, I mean, you know, his Huntsman, his little buddies in here. And others are making jokes about it, like Daily Caller. But you know, real libertarian constitutional outfits like Roosevelt Daily have been out there fighting hard to get the truth out. So what's exciting is we had, let me think, probably 300, 400 people total the first day. 500, 600, because most people just come there a few hours and leave. They made it very hard to park around here. Rolled out a red carpet for the tyrants, beat the American people, the enemy over their head with a book, because we're the enemy. You know, anybody that stands up for freedom.
Well, real quick, Alex,
I mean, like today, it's got to be 500, 600 people down here in the last few hours, so thousands have come through. It's going to be tonight and tomorrow as people get here from all over the country.
Now, Alex, real quick, a lot of people are still going to say, hey, you know, this doesn't sound like it's a joke. It sounds like a conspiracy. But folks, if you're looking here live...
Right, there's nothing going on.
Following Jim Tucker around.
I remember that. And the cars following them, and they pulled over, and all the cars still behind them.
John Ronson, like a British satirist, a journalist, followed Jim Tucker around for a Secret Wars of the World series a couple years ago, tracking Bilderberg. And John Ronson's like making fun of him and showing him like, oh, it's no big deal. And then sure enough, like, they start rolling in, and then they got pictures of him. And then at the end of the piece, John Ronson had to say, like, yeah, Jim Tucker was right. You know, I mean,
even Charlie Skelton, when he first came down to it, he thought it was a big joke. He thought it was nothing. He was going to do a whole satire piece making fun of the protesters out here. Then he came out here, realized how real it was. You know, he's doing amazing pieces on The Guardian right now. Definitely check out Charlie Skelton on The Guardian. He's written up amazing reports all these days here. It's funny, you know, you have Mexican TV here, you have an English journalist, you have RT, which is Russian, and Croatian.
so what a Turkey station here too?
Huh?
Turkey.
I don't even know.
I think the Croatian might have doubled up.
And then we have like one Washington Post journalist here from all the American mainstream media.
Washington Times was here, and then Washington Post did an article like the next day, of course, trying to, oh, we're reporting too. See, we could tell. Washington Post actually is the one that pays.
We didn't like that. You know, they put something out that he was like a conspiracy theorist or something.
I haven't had time to check out what every morning. It was like Washington Post having their own conspiracy theorist. Oh no, I think he's a conspiracy theorist.
So Luke, out of everything you've seen, from your point of view, what's been the most interesting, most moving in your own words?
I think just seeing everybody out here from all over the world coming here without any fear is just an amazing thing to see. Larger numbers that I ever seen before any other Bilderberg protest. The awareness is definitely spreading. People are getting more aware of this, even though there's no major coverage by the mainstream media. So this is amazing to see real grassroots organic activism here and journalism here. So I think that's been the most inspiring thing seeing happen here.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you for all that you do, too. Continuing with the idea of asking people why they've come to Bilderberg, I'm going to let this gentleman introduce himself and say anything to all of you that he wishes.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I live about a half an hour away from here. I go to George Mason University. I'm going into my senior year there. I came out, I've always sort of had an interest in the Bilderberg group. I read several of Daniel Esselin's books, and I guess we missed him here this weekend. Must have been on a ban list or something, but it was pretty interesting. About 6-7 years ago is when I really started to check out Infowars.com. I watched a lot of Alex's movies, and it was just a real awakening for me, and ever since then I've been trying to tell everyone that I know to wake up to the elitist agenda, what their goal is, which is to really destroy our culture, our communities, our way of life. And I'm really glad that I was able to come up here with all you wonderful people and be a part of something very special. And it means a lot. This is a very close-knit community, and so this is a real blessing for me to come up here and be able to participate in this. So
we loved having you aboard.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful to meet you.
All right.
And tell everybody who you are and why you came out today.
My name's Eric. I'm out here today to spread the word about Bilderberg, which is completely illegal and represents the subversion of democracy and the destruction of America. I'm here to make a documentary about it and hopefully wake some people up.
Excellent. What's going on? How can they find you to see the documentary?
YouTube, look up Dead Bird Citizen, one word.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You are on, my friend.
All right, we're basically here as oath keepers to, well, we're here with the protesters, but we're here to be liaisons between the police officers and the protesters, so things don't get too out of hand. You know?
That makes perfect sense.
There's no reason for us to get all crazy. It should be just a peaceful protest.
I agree completely. I was noticing earlier that some of the people were hollering at the police. I've tended to stay away from that unless they do something disrespectful to me, though I do support the First Amendment right to do so.
Right.
But I've stayed away from it too.
Yeah. And so far it's been pretty good, you know. We've had a few arrests out here, but it's basically like people just kind of provoking the cops.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Like, but also too, they shouldn't be like rough on them or like pushing them up against the car or nothing like that, or bringing them face down on the ground. You know, that's just ridiculous.
Now, for anyone that might not know, how would you describe what Oath Keepers is, what they do?
Well, we talk to law enforcement, firefighters, military, and we ask them to keep their oath that they took to the Constitution, so they don't obey any unlawful orders from politicians or their superiors.
Thank you very much, sir. I will post this up, and thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you.
So they can have the world unto themselves, elite, rich families. They interbreed, they have for centuries, transhuman monsters. They spring us down us, they're poisoning the air we breathe. Oh, it's still been so high and I can read. They spring us down us, they spring us down us, they spring us down.
All right, friends, met someone passing out awesome Ron Paul stickers, and I'm going to let him say anything he wants to the whole world.
Say, well, Ron Paul, that's what I'm going to say. And spread awareness about Bilderberg, too.
Very much so, very much so.
Is that why you guys are here?
That's exactly why we're here, yes. We ran into this gentleman in the gas station posing as someone who didn't know who Ron Paul was, handing out copies of the Constitution.
Oh, yeah.
That is what it's all about.
Take these, so when you're out there and they try to mess with you, just whip this out for a little refresher course on the,
know what to think.
on your First Amendment right.
Wonderful to meet you guys. We'll see you soon at the gate.
All right.
Back in the 1700s, man, a lot of people died for this. We're part of the 3%. If you think you're part of the club, forget it, baby. You're not. You're expendable, just like the rest of us, babe. So if you had grandparents like this fine gentleman right here that went over on a crusade to free an entire continent from slavery, a continent that was enslaved because people were asleep.
Thank you.
And hundreds and thousands of men hit those beaches bravely. This happened, the anniversary coming right up. Now where's the beach front? What beach do we hit? We're all behind enemy lines here.
It looks as though we have discovered Metallica fans. We must record.